Hi, we're on lesson 3.4, the first part of it. I'm starting on page 153, and this is the first of two lessons on multiplying polynomials symbolically, rather than using the algebra tiles and the area diagrams and rectangle models, or whatever you want to call them. We introduced FOIL in the last class, or the last lesson. So we're just going to look at FOIL for three different types of polynomials or multiplications. So in this first example here, we're doing a plus b all squared. Now, please do yourself a favor. When you see a plus b squared, remember that that actually means a plus b in brackets times a plus b in brackets, because if you don't write it out like this, then there's a chance you're just going to write a squared plus b squared, which is not what it equals, okay? As you'll see, if we do the distribution on here, we get a squared plus ab plus another ab, and then plus a b squared, okay? And then when we simplify that, that is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, okay? All right, so that is what we call a perfect square trinomial, and we'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. In the second one here, we have a minus b squared, so we're going to have a squared, and then we have a times negative b, so that's minus ab, and then we have negative b times a, so that's negative ab, and negative b times negative b, which is plus b squared. And then when we simplify that, we get a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So we want to look at the difference between these two expressions. This is a perfect square trinomial because we're taking something and we're squaring it. Well, actually, this is the perfect square trinomial because it is the square of something, like it's a plus b all squared. And then this is also a perfect square trinomial because it's what you get if you have a minus b squared all squared. So what we want you to notice here is that the first term here is the first term squared. And that's true here. This first term squared here is the first term squared. And hang on, this is kind of annoying, but this should sort of go like that because those belong together. I guess I should be writing much tinier. I don't know. Or no, these equal signs should be way over there. Anyway, and then we have this is the b squared b, so that's that squared. And it's the same thing here, that this is the b squared. Now, notice that negative b times negative b comes out positive, so that's always positive. And then the middle term is 2 times the a plus the a times the b, because you get the a times b twice. And on this one, it's a plus because there was a plus between them. And here it's a negative when there was a negative between the two terms. Okay, so that's a pattern that we will come across. The idea of having this is it just, if you know that that's what you're squaring, you don't have to actually FOIL it all out to get this result. But you get the same thing. You can multiply it out. It just saves you a little time if you recognize it right away. The other one that we're going to look at here is when we have one is a minus and one is a plus. So if we FOIL this out, we get a squared plus ab, and then we get minus ab, and then minus b squared. So if you look at this, you'll see that these middle terms actually cancel each other out. And what you end up with is just a squared minus b squared. And we call this a difference of squares. And this turns out to be a really important, an important thing to know, and it becomes an important tool. And we will look at them later on in this course when we do factoring. Let's do some examples. Oops. Okay. So we're going to expand the x plus 7 all squared. So I'm just going to scribble out that 2 and I'm going to write x plus 7 again so that I remember that I have to actually FOIL this. Oh, I guess I could use the shortcut, which is going to be it's x squared plus 14x because it's going to be 2 times 7 times x plus 49. All right, that's the shortcut. This is I'm going to do the same thing, but it's going to be minus. I'm still going to write this as 3x minus 1 because I need to see this to do this. So this is going to be 9x squared minus, because we've got a minus here, and 3 times 1 is 1, and then times 2 is 6. So that's going to be minus 6x plus 1. Okay, this is going to be 2m minus 3n. So it's going to be 4m squared minus 2 times 3 is 6 times 2 is 12mn, and then plus 9n squared. This last connector here, or term or operation, is always going to be plus, because it's whether it's a plus, a positive times a positive like it was over here, or a negative times a negative, that always comes out positive. This one is a difference of squares. So it's going to be the first term squared. It's going to be 4 squared minus the last term squared, which is going to be 7x all squared. I have to square both parts of that, so it's going to be 16 minus 49x squared. Okay. This is also a difference of squares, so it's going to be 5a squared minus 3b squared. So it's going to be 25a squared minus 9b squared. Now, as I do this, I'm noticing that this is, you have to always include that negative in the brackets, except you don't this time because we're actually just subtracting. That's what it is. It's always going to be a minus here, so we just take the actual the numbers and the letters without worrying about the plus and minus. The plus and minus here is what tells us we can take this shortcut. Okay. And then this one is going to be, I'm just going to jump right to this one. This is going to be 4p squared. Oh, no, this is not a difference of squares. This one tricked me. But it is a perfect square because they're both exactly the same. So it's going to be 4p squared. 2 times 9 is 18, times 2 is 36. So minus 36pq plus 81q squared. Now there's no, if you want to just FOIL this one out and get this one, that's fine too. And you can FOIL the difference of squares out as well. The difference of squares comes up when we factor it later on. Actually, I don't think we factor it this year. I think it's next year. I'm not sure. Doing the difference of squares as a shortcut is really a good idea. Like, you really want to recognize that and know immediately what that's going to go to. Anyway, there's our first part of the video. I'm going to end the video here, go off and do the practice, and then come back and watch part B. Bye.